On everyone. So going into this season, there was a lot of hype and excitement centered around the Lakers, right? They are a team that were just in the Western Conference Finals and really just did a great job of kind of trimming around the edges, right? They go get a Cam Reddish, a Torian Prince, Christian Wood, right? They retain all of the key pieces in Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves. And it just felt like, okay, this is a team that once we get going, we get a full off season, a full training camp, we're just going to be off to the races. Now, personally, when we got into the preseason and whatnot, of course, I was super stoked. I felt like this is a team that can definitely win a championship. I think that they have a ton of firepower. I think they're a team that has a ton of versatility. Are they a perfect team? Of course not. But I think that they are a team that is very capable of winning the NBA championship. I did think that they would finish somewhere in like the 3 to 5 range because I didn't think that they would be a team that would necessarily prioritize getting like the 1 seed as opposed to having everyone healthy getting into the postseason, particularly LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I also thought that the Lakers would be without LeBron and AD for more games, right? Knock on wood, they've been incredible when it comes to the health department. But even if they were healthy, I actually thought the Lakers would kind of rest the two of them a lot more than they have because you got to remember, LeBron is exempt from that rest rule because he's after year 20. So I figured, LeBron and AD are probably going to be rested 15 to 20 games, somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe AD plays more just because he wants to get the accolades and stuff. But I think LeBron, if he can play just 65 games, then he'll play just 65 games. So kind of figured that would be most likely the scenario. But hey, look, it is great that they have been playing. We win the in-season tournament. We're 5 games over 500. It looked like the Lakers were ready to run away with the league. And unfortunately, we just had this stretch post the in-season tournament where the Lakers just fell apart in many ways. Now, they've been dealing with injuries. They've been dealing with struggles. But a lot of it was just inconsistencies. You saw what this team was capable of. You saw what they could do on both sides of the basketball. And then they just fall into the stretch, and it's like they're like 26th in offense, and you're like, dude, where was this team that was putting up 130 points in the in-season tournament? Where's this team that, they're like 15th in defense? You're like, they were 7th a week ago. Like, what is going on here? And it was just the lack of consistency game in and game out that was a real issue. But the last month and a half, the Lakers have really turned it around, right? The Lakers are 6-6, have won 6 out of 7 in the month of February. Their rest of the stretch of February is very winnable. They've won 7 out of the last 10 and 11 out of their last 16. And they're going to need to keep that pace. If they can maintain that, then I do believe that the Lakers will get into the 6th seed. They're probably going to have to win somewhere around 45 games, which is only 15 more victories. They're not that far out as far as catching some of these teams. And luckily, the Lakers have tiebreakers over multiple teams. So right now, the Lakers are still the 9th seed, but they're 3.5 games out of the 5th seed with the Phoenix Suns. They have the tiebreaker. So they're really 3 games. Same thing with the Pelicans. So they're really 3 games. So if the Lakers and the Pelicans or the Lakers and the Suns finish with the same record, then the Lakers would push ahead of them. They don't have tiebreakers over the Mavericks, so that's not good. Sacramento, they play Sacramento a couple times coming up, so they could end up getting the tiebreakers against Sacramento. That would be good, and then really put the Lakers in a position. Bare minimum, they got to get to the 7th, 8th seed. They're the 9th, 10th seed. I'm not saying they can't do it, but it just becomes extremely difficult because you have to win 2 straight games just to get into the playoffs, and anything can happen, right? Say first game of the in-season tournament, you play the Warriors. The Warriors are capable of just shooting the lights out. The Lakers might beat the Warriors 9 out of 10 times, but if that one time is the Warriors just Steph and Clay putting up 35 off the bench and stuff, the Warriors are good enough to where they can get hot and just beat you one game, right? And that's not what you want. Same thing with a Dallas or a Sacramento, right? Yes, the Lakers may be able to beat them 9 out of 10 times, but guess what? That one time, that's it. You're going home. I also think the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie is really huge for this team's push. I really do believe that this team is a contender, right? Again, look at the league. This season is wide open, in my opinion, right? Boston has been far and away the best team, but they're extremely beatable. Boston beats themselves. Like, I think Boston's going to come out of the East, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they lost in like the second round, right? Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they played like the Knicks or something and the Knicks ended up beating them, because the Celtics just love to kind of just shoot themselves in the foot, shoot themselves out of games at times. I mean, you saw what they did against the Lakers without LeBron and AD, right? That's not that big of an outlier. Like, that team does that quite often. When you look out west, it's like, is Minnesota or the Thunder winning the championship? Probably not, right? Like, I don't believe it, right? I mean, look, again, this is very open, so like nothing would really surprise me, but like, I just think they're very young. They kind of need to get their lumps before they really step into contention, where you look at a team like Denver or the Clippers, right? Even the Suns have the guys that, like, when push comes to shove, you know what you're going to get from them. Like with the Timberwolves, like, what does Anthony Edwards do? What does Karl Anthony Towns do, right? What do these guys do for them? So, I mean, you look at the West and it's like, which team do you look at and go, man, the Lakers have no chance of beating? I don't see any of them. Like Denver's had the Lakers number. Denver's the only team that really like kind of concerns me, but the Nuggets aren't unbeatable, right? And as long as Jamal Murray doesn't play like he's Michael Jordan, then I think the Lakers should be okay in a 7-game series. And I think, like, hopefully you have a healthy LeBron and AD. Like, that Nuggets series, what does that look like if LeBron's healthy and able and not needing foot surgery and is able to actually like give 110%? Same thing with Anthony Davis. Like, what does Anthony Davis look like in that series if he doesn't need, if he's playing on a healthy ankle, a healthy foot? It's just something. Look, I'm not saying that the Lakers would have won the Denver series, but would they have really gotten swept? Probably not. I think it would have been much more of a series, because you would have had that game where LeBron and AD just are heroic, or, a game where LeBron is just heroic and then a game where AD is heroic. The Lakers win at least a couple of games if those guys are healthy and good to go. But nonetheless, it happened. All you can do is just get back into that spot again and right the ship this time. I think, again, Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be a huge factor in that regard. I'm not saying Spencer Dinwiddie makes the Lakers the best team in the league, but I do think he provides a huge hole and a huge need that the Lakers have, primarily playmaking off the bench, also an athletic guard, a skilled guard at that position, guy that can play on ball, off ball, can make plays for others, can jump into the starting unit, can come off the bench, can work well in a 3-guard lineup with Reeves and D'Lo, right? Like, his versatility, I think, is going to be very impactful. And then also, once he gets comfortable and becomes more aggressive, and you get to actually see the kind of guy that Spencer did. We've already seen the glimpses, which is great. But I think once he actually gets going, I think you're going to be like, wow, okay, the Lakers got to steal, right? At least that's my thoughts. Could be wrong. But nonetheless, right, a big part of the Lakers' kind of resurgence and turnaround is D'Angelo Russell and the way that he's played the last month and a half. Even when everyone else is getting high, the unselfishness that he has, right? Like, he's been averaging 25 a game the last month and a half. And yet he got in a game against Utah and Rui had it going, and AD had it going, and Reeves had it going. And so D'Lo was like, you know what? Let me just hit shots here and there, so that way I at least clear double digits. I mean, he only took 8 attempts and shot 50%. So, and he's just like, hey, let me just go set a career high in assists. That's huge, right? And that's something that I've talked about that I love about D'Lo, right? When all the talks and everything, my big thing was D'Lo, when his shot isn't falling, and look, his shot was falling. It was 50% from the floor. So he shot very efficiently. But even in the games where his shot isn't, he still impacts the game in other ways. If his shot isn't falling, he can go and make plays and go get you double digits in assists and play decent defense. Again, he's not elite, he's not great, but he is a solid defensive player, at least this year. He's been solid, right? He's been serviceable, which is all you really want from a guy his whole career has basically been below average. To basically be around average is huge, right? Austin Reeves has been much more consistent. That's something big that we've talked about, right? How is Austin Reeves going to play in the second half? That's the big key, right? Austin Reeves has had games where he's brilliant and he looks like himself. right? But you've looked at this stretch where like the Lakers have had success. A lot of it has been because Austin Reeves has been more consistent. When he's consistent and D'Lo does the things that he does, Lakers are going to win most, if not all of those games. But the games where Austin Reeves is like, 2 of 11 from the field or whatever, or he only has like 9 points and he's 0 of 6 from 3, which he's had a lot of games like that this year. And the Lakers usually lose most of those, right? Because they don't have that other firepower. That's also another area that I think Spencer Dinwiddie is going to come in and really help, right? Because in those games where Austin Reeves doesn't have it offensively, Spencer Dinwiddie can come in and pick it up. In the games where maybe D'Lo doesn't have it offensively, you have Spencer Dinwiddie who can come and pick it up, right? So I just think we needed Spencer Dinwiddie to give us that other guy that on any night could be the third or fourth option. And then if these two are clicking in Reeves and D'Lo, well, then Spencer Dinwiddie, he can still impact the game in other ways and still go get you double digits in scoring. So, but you don't need him to go get you 20. It's like, hey, dude, find your shot, but, make some plays for others, and he can go get, 10 and 6 or something. And it's like, oh, that's perfect, right? Because Reeves got 20 and D'Lo got 20 and, AD and LeBron combined for 60, right? Like, it's like those kind of things that are very important. And, look, clock is ticking. And I do believe that this team, just get them into the postseason. Just get them into the playoffs and trust that LeBron James and Anthony Davis, if healthy, will lead you to the promised land. Again, no team has beaten them healthy, right? The one year that they were both fully healthy, they won the championship and they were the best team in the league, right? The following year, the Lakers very much looked like they were going back-to-back. They were up 2-1 against the Phoenix Suns, looked like they were about to go up 3-1. Phoenix had no answer, and Anthony Davis gets hurt, and that was it. That was all she wrote. Then you don't make the postseason, rush trade, and all that stuff, and then you go and have a one-legged LeBron and a one-legged AD, and D'Lo was even on one leg, and you hobbled to the conference final. So again, you get these two guys healthy, you get this team healthy come postseason, which, again, they've been struggling and dealing with injuries all season long and are still without their 4 best defensive guys. So you get this team postseason healthy and you get in, I will take my chances with the Lakers. I fully believe that this team can win an NBA championship. I do. I'm fully supportive. But to me, it's about the consistency. Right? They have to continue to build good habits. They have to continue to play the right way, moving the basketball, sharing the basketball, doing the things necessary to win basketball games. If the Lakers do that, they're going to be in good shape and they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to get into the postseason and we're going to be hopefully hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you make of the Lakers this season? Do you still believe that they can win? Do you love the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie? Are you excited for the second half of the season? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Now subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.